Hey there, and welcome to another trip report. I've just arrived at Munich International Airport on a Lufthansa flight from Porto, Portugal, where I'll be connecting onwards to Montreal in Lufthansa Premium Economy on board their Airbus A350-900. Munich Airport consists of two terminals with all Lufthansa flights and most Star Alliance partner airlines using Terminal 2, making connections between different Star Alliance flights very convenient. Terminal 2 consists of two separate buildings, the main concourse where my flight from Porto arrived, and a separate satellite building that's accessible via train. On this separate pier, there are two distinct gate areas, with the K gates used for Schengen flights and the L gates used for non-Schengen flights. My flight to Montreal is departing from gate L15 on the satellite pier, so that's where I'm headed. To access the satellite pier, following the signs for the L gates, you end up at the train connecting the two buildings. The train runs every 2 minutes, with the ride between the buildings taking only 1 minute. Stepping off at the satellite pier, I'm back to following signs again. Climbing up to ground level, I'm now in the area for the K gates, with the L gates located above this area. Since the L gates are used for non-Schengen flights, I'll have to pass through a passport control checkpoint to get there. I've passed at least 4 different Lufthansa lounges on my walk so far, with lounges in each of the gate areas, but unfortunately, Lufthansa Premium Economy tickets don't come with lounge access. Ascending towards the L gates, at the top, I seem to have found myself at the back of a very long passport control line, with a lot of frustrated, stressed passengers who were about to miss their flights to the US, namely Chicago and Boston from the sounds of it. Thankfully, I've still got another hour and a half before my flight to Montreal departs. So far in my connection journey, the time from stepping off my first flight to reaching here was 10 minutes. 40 minutes later, I've exited passport control and can finally head over to my gate, which is conveniently located immediately after the checkpoint. Boarding begins in 10 minutes time at 4:15 p.m., 45 minutes prior to the scheduled departure time. The gate area is very busy, with all available seats taken and the remaining passengers standing while we wait for boarding to get underway. As I arrived at the gate, they were asking any passengers who hadn't had their passport verified at check-in here in Munich to queue at the gate prior to boarding to have it checked. As we get ready for boarding, let's talk about Lufthansa's boarding process. On intercontinental flights like this one, passengers are divided into different groups, with the process commencing with pre-boarding for families with young children or those who need extra time to get on board. Following that, we have 2 priority boarding groups, with the first of these for Han Circle members and the second for Lufthansa Senators, Star Alliance Gold members, and those seated in business class. Following that is Group 3 for Premium Economy passengers, and then Groups 4, 5, and 6 for Economy passengers. Boarding got underway about 5 minutes behind schedule, with an agent verifying document checks had been completed before you proceed to the automatic boarding gates to scan your boarding pass. Catching a glimpse of the aircraft taking me to Montreal today, I'll be on board this 4.5-year-old Airbus A350-900 that started its life with Philippine Airlines in August 2018 before being transferred to Lufthansa in May 2022, just 5 months before this flight. As of March 2023, Lufthansa had 21 Airbus A350-900s in their fleet, with an additional 34 aircraft on order. These aircraft are the backbone of the airline's long-haul operations from their hub here in Munich, serving many of their North American and East Asian routes and intended to replace their older Airbus A340s. Stepping on board, this aircraft is in a 3-class configuration, with business class to my left consisting of 30 lie-flat seats in a 1-2-1 configuration, and to my right we have Premium Economy and Economy class. Entering the Premium Economy cabin, I'm booked in seat 11K for today's flight, which is a window seat on the right side of the aircraft. Advanced seat selection for Lufthansa Premium Economy is not complimentary, which is a major disappointment, with selection fees prior to check-in costing $67 Canadian per seat for this flight. The Premium Economy cabin is in a 2-4-2 layout with 24 seats in total spread across 3 rows. The seats have a gray fabric back and base and are much thicker and more comfortable looking than the economy class seats down back. Economy class on this aircraft is in a 3-3-3 configuration with 241 seats in total. The premium economy cabin on this aircraft definitely has a more private and intimate feel to it than economy, as it's a rather small, secluded cabin. Taking a closer look at my seat, it has a very fresh and clean feel to it, with the material choices giving it a very sleek look. There's a thin armrest to my right, which houses the seat recline button and control for the integrated seat leg rest, and there's a larger shared armrest to my left, which houses the tray table for my seat. On the inside of the shared armrest, we also have a remote control for the entertainment system, which appears to have a touchpad for control, as well as buttons for calling an attendant, turning on the overhead reading light, and adjusting the system volume. In terms of cabin baggage storage, as you can see, it was a bit of a struggle to get my backpack under the seat in front, and this was the best I could do. There is plenty of space in the overhead bins, which are massive, so onboard storage doesn't seem to be much of an issue. Looking at the legroom in the seat, it's quite reasonable at about 38 inches of pitch, which gives me plenty of space to stretch out and get comfortable. We also have a footrest that flips down from the seat back in front, though this is a little awkward to use with my bag stored under the seat. Between the two seats ahead of mine, we have a water bottle holder for each seat, with a water bottle provided when we boarded. On the center console between my seat and my neighbor, we have a universal AC power outlet for each seat, and up near my seat's headrest, we have an adjustable reading light with 3 different lighting levels, with headphone ports for the entertainment system located below that. On the overhead panel above my seat, we have another personal reading light for each seat, but unfortunately, no personal adjustable air vents on these A350s. Taking a closer look at the seat back in front, each premium economy seat is equipped with a large seatback entertainment screen that's tilt adjustable and touchscreen controlled, with a USB-A charging port and another headphone port on the bottom edge. To the right of the screen, we have a coat hook, and below the screen, we have a pocket for holding the amenity kit that was provided at the seat when we boarded. The mesh pouch could also be used for storing other items as well. Below the mesh pouch, we have a pocket for storing the provided reading materials and any other items of your choosing. Taking a look at what's provided, we have the safety information card for the Airbus A350-900, the in-flight shopping magazine, and an air sickness bag. Also provided at the seat when we boarded the aircraft, we have a blanket and a pillow, both of which are pretty basic. Taking a look at the Porsche amenity kit that was provided at each premium economy seat, the kit itself is really just a mesh bag and nothing very impressive, but I'm glad to see that kits are provided in Lufthansa Premium nonetheless. Inside, we have socks, an eye mask, a refreshing towel, earplugs, and a toothbrush and toothpaste. After all the premium economy passengers had settled into their seats, the cabin crew came through and handed out complimentary earbuds to use with the entertainment system, and also distributed the menus for the in-flight service. On this flight, there's a hot meal served after takeoff, followed by a light snack before landing. For the hot meal, the 2 options are either a chicken piccata with rigatoni and tomato sauce, or a pumpkin and chestnut goulash with spätzle, both served with a mixed salad and cake for dessert. While the light snack before landing is a roast veal in vitello tonnato sauce with a fruit salad for dessert. The menu card also lists the beverages available, which include soft drinks, juices, beer, wine, and coffee and tea. Shortly after handing out the menus, a pre-departure beverage of either fresh orange juice or water was offered.
Well, we're done in the cockpit and also in the cabin with our preparations for the flight, but nevertheless...
Des Handgepäcks auch den Platz unter den Vordersitzen. Schließen Sie jetzt Ihren Sicherheitsgänge haben aufblasbare Rutschen, über die Sie das Flugzeug im Notfall verlassen können.
16 minutes behind schedule, we're pushing back from the gate for departure.
Das Rauchen ist während des gesamten Aufenthaltes an Bord verboten. Für Start und Landung schalten Sie.
Just before you leave the aircraft, pull the red toggle to inflate. Also show the safety position that you should adopt in the event of an emergency landing. Your cabin attendants will also be happy to help you.
Climbing away from Munich and heading west towards Montreal, the windows on these A350s are massive and offer great views of what's below, with standard pull-down window shades to block out light. As we continue our climb, let's check out the seatback entertainment system. Using the touchscreen to control it, on the initial main screen, we mostly have the system content highlights, with the bulk of the system's content found under the menu button in the top left corner of the screen, grouped by content type. From here, we have movies, TV shows, music, audiobooks, podcasts, and games. There's also a kids content section, a wellness section, and a news section. There's a good range of content, and I really like how the system is organized, with easy-to-navigate categories. In terms of the range of content, there are 254 different movie titles and 214 different TV show titles, with quite a few new titles available as well. You can also choose to favorite a specific title while you're browsing, which makes it easy to find later on. There's a second screen feature where you can scan the QR code on the screen with your smartphone to be able to control the screen from your smartphone. Back on the main screen, along the top bar, we have a favorites section to view titles you've favorited, controls for the screen brightness and system volume, the overhead reading light, and the attendant call button. You can also access the in-flight maps from here, which are super detailed with great 3D graphics. You can move around the map super easily or refocus on the aircraft's current position, and you can select different cities on the map to read details about them. There are lots of other view options as well to be able to see time zones and the map from different angles or showing different content. Lastly, you can also control the screen from the remote that's found in the armrest, with a touchpad that mimics the touchscreen and buttons for the home menu and pausing and playing content. About 45 minutes after takeoff, the cabin crew are working their way through the cabin with the hot meal service of the flight. Popping out the tray table from the armrest, there's a handle to lift it out, and once open, you can opt to use it in either a half or full-size configuration. It's very sturdy and is mounted on rails such that it can slide inwards and outwards. For my meal, I opted for the pumpkin and chestnut goulash with spätzle. The dishes provided on this tray certainly feel more premium than regular economy class, with the tray provided with a paper serviette and real metal cutlery along with salt and pepper packets. The meal was served with an appetizer of mixed salad with sun-dried tomatoes and tomato and basil dressing, a pretzel with a packet of butter, a wedge of brie, and a slice of Black Forest cake for dessert. A full beverage service was offered at the same time, with complimentary alcohol available, including wine and spirits. Overall, everything I was served was very tasty. Cruising over the North Sea now, just off the coast of the Netherlands, the meal trays are being cleared away, and we've got about 6.5 hours to go before arrival. Pulling out my laptop to get some work done, there's tons of space to use a large laptop in these seats, with power outlets at your disposal to keep you at full charge for the whole flight. There's Wi-Fi available on board as well, though it is a paid service. To connect, you join the Lufthansa Flynet network and follow the prompts to launch your browser. In your browser, you can view the different access options available, starting with the messaging pass for €5, which allows you to use Wi-Fi-based messaging services for the duration of the flight. Or you can purchase premium Wi-Fi access for high-speed internet access, with 2 hours of access costing €15 and access for the full flight costing €25. You can also access the in-flight Wi-Fi through a partner service such as T-Mobile or Boingo. Getting up from my seat and taking a walk towards the front of the plane, directly in front of Premium Economy, we have the Premium Economy Galley, and ahead of that, we have Business Class. In the galley between Premium and Business, we also have 2 lavatories reserved for Premium and Business passengers. Stepping inside, it's very clean, modern, and well lit, and is actually a decent size as well. We also have water cups provided, but there are signs indicating that you can't drink the tap water, so I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of them is. I also love that the faucet is motion controlled with buttons for adjusting the temperature. Continuing our walk back into economy class, you'll notice that there is a solid bulkhead wall dividing economy and premium economy on this aircraft, which is something that's unique to the set of Lufthansa A350s that were transferred from Philippine Airlines, as most of Lufthansa's other A350s have a mesh divider between the cabins and no aisle curtains to separate them. The premium economy seat arrangement is also different between these two aircraft configurations, with most of Lufthansa's premium economy cabins seating passengers in a 2-3-2 layout, while these ex-Philippine A350s are in a 2-4-2 layout, packing in an extra seat per row. Putting the seat into a reclined position, these premium economy seats have a good recline capability and are decent for getting some rest. They also have an adjustable headrest which slides up and down and has folding sides for extra support. The seat also has an integrated leg rest that flips up, but is a bit awkward to use when you have a bag stored under the seat in front. As we continue our journey west, the sun is setting ahead of us and I'm getting some work done. Soon enough, we reach the east coast of Canada with another 2 hours to go before landing in Montreal. With an hour and 45 minutes to go before landing, the cabin lights are coming back on for the second aisle service of the flight. This service is a light snack consisting of roast veal in vitello tonato sauce with capers served with a bread roll and butter and fruit salad for dessert. The veal doesn't look very appetizing in my opinion, and I'm also not much of a fan of cold meat, so this really didn't do it for me. I tried it, but wasn't impressed, so I ate the bread roll and fruit salad and called it a day. After the trays were cleared away, the crew began their arrival preparations, and soon after, we were descending towards Montreal's Trudeau Airport.
Ich wollte kurz die Chance nutzen, ihm noch ein paar weitere Informationen zu geben, als dass wir inzwischen in Kanada angekommen sind. Aktuell genau über dem St. Lorenz-Strom.
Your hand luggage stowed safely. Double check that it can either block the aisle, nor the emergency exit rows, and please refrain from using the lower.
Das Gepäck ebenfalls für Sie direkt weiter befördert. In diesem Fall folgen Sie den Schildern.
Damen und Herren, bitte bleiben Sie jetzt noch so lange angeschnallt sitzen, bis wir unsere endgültige Parkposition erreicht haben und auch die Anschnallzeichen über Ihnen erloschen sind.
After touching down at 7:10 p.m., about 20 minutes behind schedule, we're taxiing over to our gate on the international section of the terminal.
Cabin crew, all doors and park.
After disembarking, I'm headed to Canadian Passport Control first, and then to baggage claim to collect my checked luggage. The posted wait times for passport control are 15 to 30 minutes right now, but I was through in under 5 minutes and headed down to baggage claim. Bags from my flight are arriving on carousel number 4. My bags were checked in at Porto all the way through to Montreal, and because I was booked on a premium economy ticket today, I was allowed 2 complimentary checked bags, each weighing up to 23 kilograms. Within 7 minutes of reaching the carousel, my bags were delivered and it's time to head home. Thanks for joining me for this trip report, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now for some comments on the experience overall. Lufthansa's premium economy cabin on their Airbus A350 offers a more private and comfortable experience than economy class, with a huge entertainment screen, delicious meal service, and spacious seat. I was, however, disappointed by a few items, namely the hefty charge for advanced seat selection and the unappetizing snack served at the end of the flight. On the whole, this experience is still a huge upgrade from economy, and for the right price, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.